Development in children. Did you know at birth the brain is 25% of adult size, and at age 3 the brain is 80% of adult size? The brain is also one of the first organs to develop in a mother's womb. According to Karen L., senior writer of 71 Facts About Child Brain development is crucial the first 3 years of a child's life because during this time the constant development of the brain occurs. The development of the brain contributes to the functioning of the entire body. The anatomy of the brain is made up of neurons, dendrites, axons, and divided into 4 different lobes that each serve their very own purpose. First, we have the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe is the largest section of the brain and is located in the front of the head, according to Stanford Children's Hospital. According to Adam Miller Bryan, Development of Children from 0 to 6 years old, the frontal lobe is involved in judgment, decision-making, some language functions, personality characteristics, and movement. Activities that stimulate the frontal lobe are picture book reading or waiting to read with a friend or parent, listening and following instructions, and learning a second language. According to Sheree Abdin, writer of WebMD Brain Boosting Activities for Preschoolers, the child gains social and verbal engagement and self-control, as well as focusing skills, which helps with impulse, and children gain a sense of patience. Learning a second language helps with developing verbal and spatial abilities and promotes better vocabulary and reading skills. Next, we have the temporal lobe. The temporal lobes are located on the sides of the brain. The temporal lobes are involved in memory, speech, and sense of smell. Activities that stimulate the temporal lobe, according to Kids Are Kids Learning Academy, include conducting cooking projects, exploring many textures, listening to different instruments and the sounds they make. The child gains sense of various aromas and food textures from engaging in cooking projects. Listening to instruments and the different sounds they make builds auditory connections. Here we have the occipital lobe. The occipital lobe is the back part of the brain. The occipital lobe is connected with vision.
I guess vision.
For vision.
My occipital lobe will start working.
I can't. She said upload it to State Center.
Who's that man with all that belly? Oh, that's me.
Activities that stimulate the occipital lobe are playing outside with colorful scarves and putting puzzles together. The child gains sights of many colors and being able to identify these colors, as well as the visual side of nature during play. Working on puzzles promotes nonverbal reasoning and the ability to visualize seeing where puzzle pieces go based off of other puzzle pieces. Here we have the parietal lobe. The parietal lobe is located in the middle part of the brain. The parietal lobe helps a person to identify objects and understand spatial relationship, where one's body is compared to objects around the person. The parietal lobe is also involved in interpreting pain and touch in the body. Activities that stimulate the parietal lobe in a child's brain include sports and hugs. The child gains structure, creating a social setting and building important motor skills and balance, which also improves attention span and memory. Hugs provide a sense of touch to the body as well as security for the child at school, home, and daycare. An extra activity that promotes stimulation in the brain includes unstructured play, also known as free play. Free play is important because it allows a child to be creative, as well as developing leadership skills and group skills. Keep in mind parents to not be too involved, allowing your child to play freely. Some other parts of the brain that I have included that also have important functions include the pons, which is a deep part of the brain located in the brainstem. The pons contains many control areas for eye and facial movement. Here we have the medulla. The medulla is the lowest part of the brainstem. The medulla is the most vital part of the entire brain and contains important control centers for the heart and lungs. Lastly, we have the spinal cord. The spinal cord is a large bundle of nerve fibers located in the back that extends from the base of the brain to the lower back. The spinal cord carries messages to and from the brain to the rest of the body. Here is the anatomy of a child brain. The anatomy of a child brain is also the same in adults. To conclude, the child brain is one of the first organs to develop in the womb. The child brain is divided into 4 different lobes, which include the frontal lobe, the temporal lobe, the occipital lobe, and the parietal lobe. As parents, there are things you can do at home during play, family time, and downtime that stimulate your child's brain. Helping your child's brain is helping their lives.